Kitchens. They are the heart of the home, and they are one of the top selling features when buyers are looking for a property. As much as I love a good home renovation, sometimes a full-blown kitchen reno is just not in the time frame or in the budget. So I'm going to be sharing with you some of my top makeover tips. Keep in mind that most buyers want a turnkey property, meaning they just want to move in and not be concerned about any kind of home improvements. So as a seller, it is your job to provide the most turnkey property as possible. Hi, I'm Alice T. Chan, OG stager and home improvement strategist. Over the last 15 years, I've helped thousands of homeowners prepare their houses to sell, and over the course of those 15 years, I've also sold 4 of my own homes. So I definitely know which home improvements make the biggest difference. If you missed the other videos in this series, I shared my top tips for improving the interior of your property as well as the exterior of your property, and I will link those videos in the cards above as well as in the description box below. In today's video, we're going to focus on the heart of the home, which is the kitchen. Have you ever noticed that it doesn't matter how large the home is and how many other rooms that they can go and hang out in, everybody tends to gravitate towards the kitchen? It used to confuse me so much, like, why don't you want to go hang out in the other room? It's just steps away. Everybody wants to be in the kitchen. Like most homes, your kitchen is probably where you spend most of your time. You're cooking for your family, you're entertaining, you're baking with your kids. It's where you're creating those memories. And you want to make sure that your potential buyers are envisioning how they're going to create those memories with their own family. Otherwise, there goes your asking price. So here are my top tips for updating and upgrading your kitchen to make every buyer want your kitchen and ultimately your home. First, you want to update the light fixtures. Most likely, you have fluorescent light boxes above your kitchen. That is a very dated feature and a very unwanted feature. So you want to spend the time to remove the fluorescent light boxes and replace it with recessed lighting. Many times your fluorescent light boxes sit above the regular ceiling height. You're able to create a tray ceiling and install the recessed lights in that. Next, you'll want to repaint your cabinets. Painted cabinets are a lot more marketable than wood cabinets. And you're just gonna have to get over the fact that, oh my gosh, it's real wood. That's great. Hopefully that means that they're in better condition than if they were not real wood. But that orange oak color and that natural maple, that's not what buyers are looking for. So choose a neutral paint color to refresh those cabinets. You can never go wrong with white. And if you want to mix things up and maybe add a colored island, that's a really nice feature. It'll literally transform the look and feel of that moneymaker space. Next, you're going to want to add knobs and pulls. Now, a lot of original kitchens don't have knobs and pulls, and I consider knobs and pulls like the jewelry of your kitchen. So don't go for the cheapest option. Pick something that's very complementary to the overall aesthetic of that space, and it's going to really elevate the look of your kitchen and give your space some personality. While you're repainting the rest of your house, you'll want to repaint the kitchen as well. You may need to clean the walls before you actually paint, especially if you're an aggressive cook and there's like grease buildup on your walls. Listen, it's a thing. There was a property early in my staging career that did not have the budget, or they just did not want to repaint the house, and they had a header above the stove area that they had these plastic fruit hung on that wall space, and I had advised them to remove that, which they did. But unfortunately, when they removed it, it left behind outlines of where the fruit was, because as they were cooking, the grease was rising and it just collected over that fruit. Gross, I know. And did they clean it off? No, they didn't. So don't be one of those people. Either invest in the overall process and clean as well as repaint, or at the very least, if you're not going to repaint, it doesn't cost you any money to clean the property yourself. Next, you want to replace your faucet. This is probably one of the most used features in your kitchen, and a good faucet makes a big difference. So if yours is worn, or it's not working properly, or if it's one of those wimpy ones where it just kind of swings around, it really doesn't feel substantial, replace it. A good faucet will run you probably around $200 to $250, but it's well worth the investment. Next, you want to replace your countertop. There's nothing worse than 4x4 tile with the big fat grout lines. You know, the black ones? Because you know what? Those grout lines collect a lot of dirt and debris, and they're a pain in the butt to clean. I've inherited that countertop in every home I've ever purchased, and I only was able to replace one of them. But there's so many prefab options available nowadays that it's a relatively inexpensive investment in your property, and it goes a long way. Otherwise, you have to remove everything off your countertop like I used to do and scrub the grime that collects on the grout. And I know nobody does that. I know, I'm a little extra. And while you're at it, replace your sink. So if you're going to change the countertop, this is a great opportunity to replace your sink. And I highly recommend getting a single bowl stainless steel sink in 16 or 18 gauge. Now 18 gauge is a very good sink, 16 gauge is a little more luxury, it's thicker. I highly discourage getting a 20 gauge stainless steel because it's very thin and it sounds like a tin can. Then you'll also want to upgrade your flooring. Because the kitchen is a high traffic area, it shows wear much easier. So give your flooring a discerning assessment and decide whether or not it's time to replace it. If there's chips, if there's cracks, if it's broken, if it's just ugly, it's time to replace it. If you're replacing flooring throughout the house to hardwood, run it directly into the kitchen. This will give your home a much more spacious look. Now, if you're really on a tight budget, we have installed peel and stick vinyl tile before, and this is a great temporary update to your home, and it does not cost a lot of money. So please don't let budget be the reason why you keep leaving money on the table. If you are doing the vinyl tile, I highly recommend going with a larger scale tile like an 18 by 18 versus going small like an 8 by 8 or even a 12 by 12. The larger, the more modern it looks, and it creates the feeling of a much more spacious room. Finally, you want to upgrade or replace your old appliances. Now, appliances tend to be a big ticket item, so I understand the temptation to not replace the appliances. But in the grand scheme of things, you have to understand that that's giving your buyers that turnkey experience that they're looking for. You can get a nice appliance package for a few $1,000s, but just make sure that the appliance package that you choose is in line with the level of property that you are selling. You don't want to put a low-end appliance line in a high-end property. That's just going to turn buyers off. When in doubt, speak with your real estate professional or consult with a staging or a design professional. We're here to help you not make those mistakes that will cost you money and possibly the sale. So now you know the top kitchen improvements that you can make to increase the resale value of your home. But as you can imagine, there is so much more. To help you navigate the home selling process successfully, I have put together a very comprehensive Make Every Buyer Want You pre-sale checklist. It outlines everything that you should check, repair, or replace throughout your home inside and out to make every buyer want you. If you follow everything on the list, there is absolutely no reason why buyers are not writing offers on your property. You can download your free checklist by clicking on the link below this video. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and share with your friends and hit that like button so that we know to make more videos just like this. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.